What's up, YouTube? Your boy Q coming at you from Quinn's Comic Stash. We got last week's comics tonight. Thanks for tuning in again. Hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. It was fantastic. Spent some time with the family. Had a nice barbecue at my uncle's place. Threw a birthday party for my niece, and just got to chill out on Monday. So it was actually really nice. Hope everybody enjoyed the holiday weekend. Another weekend gone, another weekend closer to Quinn's Comic Stash opening up here in Noblesville, Indiana. Hopefully this week I'm going to be signing that lease, and we'll have an address to ship to put out there into the ether for all you guys to know. So, things are moving right along in that area. Without further ado, let's take a look at what we read last week, all right? Starting out here, we got a DC title, Wonder Girl #3 from Jolie Jones. Man, this woman is fantastic, no lie. Jolie Jones, writing and drawing all of these issues, and her own take on Wonder Woman. The art's fantastic, the storytelling's great. Completely different take on Wonder Woman, and in this issue, we have our Yara Flor, who is this particular Wonder Woman, engages with Eros and gets taken back to Mount Olympus, where Hera has some duties for her to fulfill. So it was pretty sweet. I love how they're intertwining the Olympic gods in this storyline, in this alternate Wonder Woman universe, and very much am enjoying this book. So hats off to Jolie Jones, another well scripted issue. Looking forward to issue number 4 there. Next up, we got Tom Taylor on a Marvel title. Tom Taylor, you might know, who has recently taken Nightwing to new heights for DC, who's just exploded as one of the best DC titles out there. Well, now he's got his hands on a Marvel book. This is called Dark Ages. This is being illustrated by Ivan Coelho, and it's cool. It's kind of a what if. It takes this robot who's been incarcerated in the center of the earth for millennia, and he's starting to restore himself. And in order to stop him, Doctor Strange has to open up a portal to an alternate timeline that induces this EMP to knock out all of the usable electricities and power sources in the universe, and that allows him to defeat the imminent threat that is this robot that's at the center of the universe, causing all sorts of destruction. But in doing so, they have unveiled this timeline in which it alters everything, and apocalypse, it looks like, and a bunch of the heroes take different routes, and kind of ends in this in the Dark Ages. That the Doctor Strange is killed in battle and is not able to undo the portal that he creates to stop the foe, and it just persists. So it changes the sculpt of reality, and all of our heroes end up in this Dark Ages. So it's kind of like a what if story. I dug it. It was pretty cool. The art was fantastic in it, and looking forward to number 2 on that. Next up, we got another Marvel book, Spider-Man Spider Shadow issue 5. This is another what if. This is Chip Zdarsky telling the story of what if Peter Parker, when he got the symbiote, took a darker route. And of course, Peter Parker still ends up being the hero in this. He ends up in a battle with all the heroes, fighting against the symbiote who's taken over Mr. Fantastic, who ultimately ends up being the main protagonist in this story. But it was really well done. It was a neat take on a classic Spider-Man tale, and can't recommend it enough. Certainly recommend you guys checking out Spider Shadow. This was a fantastic book. The art It's done by Pascal Ferry, who I'm a longtime fan of. I first remember Pascal Ferry's art coming out on a Heroes for Hire book with Power Man and Iron Fist back in the day, back in the 90s. And his art on that was fantastic. Art on Spider Shadows still equally as great, so definitely recommend y'all checking that out. Next up, we got the Sinister War, issue 4. This is the final issue in this. This was, I don't know, a bit of a letdown, honestly. I was expecting, just a battle between two factions of the Sinister Six, and it turned into having a whole lot more than that going on. Written by Nick Spence and I do believe Matthew Rosenberg, no, Ed Brisson and Nick Spencer. And, Mark Bagley's doing a bunch of the art on the inside. The covers are cool, but I just didn't love it. All being told, it felt kind of rushed. He's fighting 40 different bad guys, and none of them really get us area to shine in the book. Covers are going to look sweet, all connected together from Mark Bagley. But, I didn't love the story. I can't lie. Next up, we got Telepaths. This is cover A and cover B here. This is by J. Michael Straczynski and Steve Epting. This is being put out by AWA Upshot, new publisher. It's putting out a bunch of indie books for folks out there. And this book was actually really good. I loved it. I love J. Michael Straczynski. He's one of my favorite writers in comics. And Steve Epting is classic. Anybody who followed his stuff on Cap, y'all know what a prolific artist he is. So this story takes place kind of in our current era, and there's a mass chronal ejection, which is like a big spark off of the sun. And these things have been recorded throughout history, and they always have had different effects. Sometimes they will tear down printing presses, or sometimes these mass chronal ejections do damage to the electromagnetic field, and they always have these unpredictable responses. Well, this time they seems to interact with people's brains, and it gives half the population telepathy. So we end up in this place where half of the population of the world can read your mind, the other half can't, and that's kind of where it stops at the end of issue 1. So it's pretty cool. I will definitely be checking out number 2. This is a 6-issue miniseries, so definitely excited to see where this thing goes. Again, J. Michael Straczynski and Steve Epting. You guys can't beat it. Fantastic team. Both covers are great. Highly recommend that book. Next up, we got another 2-cover banger. Got Damian Connolly's You Promised Me Darkness. This is issue number 5. This is the last issue in this series. We got cover A and cover B there. This series was very eerie, creepy. It's about a bunch of folks that get powers whenever a comet passes. They're children of the comet. So a comet passes, bestows these unpredictable random powers on people. And honestly, the book was all over the place. I enjoyed it. I love all the artwork in it. It's all done in black and white, and a bunch of negative space used. It's Annabella Mazzafari, and the storytelling was well done. It's a creepy book. The art is spectacular, but I can't lie, it's very hard to follow. I'm gonna have to go back and reread this thing, because I got the gist of it, but to sit here and say that I understood it is that I'm far from that. I gotta go back and read this thing again, because at different times it's all over the place. But I know it follows these characters through them getting their powers, and through this short little episode in their life, and then it's all leading to a new series that's going to take place in Alaska, from what I know. I know it's not the best sell job for the book, but it is really cool. It's something different, and it was a fun read. I enjoyed it. Last but not least, we got Geiger number 6. This is the last book in this the story, not the last book in the series, but just it was the end cap to the first story arc. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank did a fantastic job in starting up this world. Tariq Geiger is an awesome character, and I really enjoyed this book. Geiger kind of faces his first nemesis here in this story, puts the boots to him, and manages to save his kids. And it kind of ends the first story arc with one of the kids A saves. I feel is showing up to continue off in the next story here. And it was a fantastic book. I'll definitely keep reading, picking this thing up. But that's all I got for last week. It was kind of a short week. Not a ton of books for me. What did you guys pick up? What are y'all reading? What are y'all loving? What should I be reading? And what are your guys' thoughts on the books that I reviewed? You guys reading any of the same stuff, or let's keep the conversation going in the comments. All right. That's Q signing off for Quinn's Comic Stash. Peace, everybody. Take care. Talk again soon.